the Rachel of 2020 or 2021, 2022, whenever it is that we might return to the US after this, is not going to be the same me that's sitting here right now. And that's scary, but it's fucking beautiful too. Hey everybody on YouTube, welcome back to my channel, and as you can tell by the title of this video, this is the last video that I'm making while I'm still in the United States. It is Wednesday, May 8th right now at the time of this recording, but as you continue on in this video, you'll see that I've compiled a kind of a video scrapbook of our process of packing up our apartment, moving out of here, saying goodbye to friends and family in Kentucky, and then eventually leaving the United States. So as many of you know, just to catch everybody up, my partner and I are moving to his home country, to Santiago, Chile. We're going to be living there for 2 or 3 years, and even though I've traveled quite a bit, I've traveled throughout Europe, I've been to Chile before, back in 2013, right before we got married. This is my first time living abroad, like being far away from my home country and what is familiar to me for a significant amount of time, at least 2, possibly 3 years. And it's scary, it's stressful, and yeah, I just need to sit down from my altar, drinking a beer, because I was just staring at my computer screen earlier today, trying to do work, and just realized this is just not going to happen. I've just been feeling very emotional today. That might be because I'm of the particular part of my cycle that I'm in right now, but also it's May. And we are moving out of this apartment in Georgia at the end of May, and that means saying goodbye. I'm already getting emotional. These are good tears, by the way, like not sad tears. I've actually been crying. I've been sitting in front of this altar and journaling and crying on and off like all day, all morning, into the afternoon. Sometimes you just need a day to let it out, you know? And so I was sitting trying to do work earlier, and I just realized I can't, I need a day to process. But I also needed time to take care of other things like collecting boxes and tying loose ends and, you know, filming videos like this. So yeah, it's May. The move to Chile is imminent. It is fast approaching, and we have to say goodbye to the town in Georgia and the university here that we've called home. For me, since 2011, for my partner since 2010. So nearly a decade, 8 to 9 years. And of course, there was a period where I was up in Massachusetts because I, was in the middle of my coursework and getting the ball rolling on my PhD from my university up there. But I lived here first, got my master's degree here first, met my partner and married him here, and traveled back and forth between here and Massachusetts. And so this town in Georgia has been our home for nearly a decade, and it's sad having to say goodbye to it. So these are really tears of gratitude. I've been thinking about my spiritual work that I've been doing for the last year, or more like 8 to 9 months in preparation for this immense change. I've been thinking about the academic work that I've been able to get done. I've been thinking about all the tears that I've shed, and every time that I felt like I couldn't do it, I felt like it was too much to handle, the stress of trying to start your dissertation, preparing for a conference, moving out of this apartment in Georgia and getting our asses down to Santiago, and all the money we have to spend. It's expensive to move abroad. Like, we've been trying to keep it as cheap as possible, but still, you know, it's wiped out the little bit of savings that we have. And thank Goddess that my parents have been able to help us out a little bit here or there. They're gonna, you know, help us keep our asses afloat once we're there, before my husband's like paychecks start coming in. But all the ups and downs and everything we've been through, and all the planning and strategizing and lists and to-do lists and deadlines and things that we've had to do to prepare to move abroad. And I just feel so sad, but also proud of myself and proud of us for how well we have been able to manage this. I actually, in my bullet journal, in my work bullet journal, which I have here, for the month of June, I kind of preemptively started planning out the weekly spreads from now until June. And for the month of June, I wrote down in my like monthly overview pages all of my accomplishments that I've been able to take care of from January until June. So that includes, at the end of May, going to this big academic conference. And I'm not only going to the conference, I'm also participating in a mentorship workshop where I get to work with some really interesting people and leaders in my field. It'll be a great networking opportunity for me. So I'm participating in the workshop. I'm presenting at this big conference. All of the hundreds of hours of research and writing that I've done, passing to candidacy or to ABD status, which happened just a few weeks ago. So my prospectus was passed, which means like the only thing standing between me and getting this fucking PhD is the dissertation. Like, that's the only thing, all but dissertation ABD status, right? Organizing successfully this move and keeping on top of all the shit we have to do. Keeping up with my spiritual practice and keeping up with this YouTube channel. The epic shadow work that I've been able to do that was prompted by this epic move, but also prompted by the dissertation. Growing closer to my partner and not letting the stress get between us, you know? And also writing the first chapter of my dissertation. I don't know if I'll be able to have it done before we move, but as of May 8th, as of right now, I have about a little more than half of my chapter written. I have 33 pages written. And so when I see everything written down that I've been able to like manage on a list like that, it is such a beautiful reminder and act of self-love, and a reminder that you got this. You can handle this. You've witched your way successfully through this with the help of spell work, like this candle and jar right here that you see at the front of my altar, with the help of shadow work, with the help of healing, with the help of your matron and guides, with the help of the patience of your partner. It's just, when I look at that list and realize, or I think to myself, like, God damn, I did it. We did it. So far, you know, we've been able to like keep our sanity, keep up with our self-care, more or less, and push through and successfully plan all of this shit, all this craziness. And so I kind of feel like I've been seeing the number 1111 a lot, the time on the clock. Like, it keeps popping up almost on a daily basis for the last week or so. And, you know, regardless of how you understand or what you believe in when it comes to synchronicities or spirits or spirit guides or whatever, like whether you just view them as like symbolism or, you know, out of the chaos, you understand synchronicities as us constructing order out of chaos and making sense of things, or it really is, you know, messages from the beyond or whatever. Just saying 1111 over again and being prompted to kind of reflect on this whole process, especially the last 6 months or so, in preparation for this huge change. It's been a little confidence boost for me. It's taught me to trust myself, and that's a big issue that I have when it comes to trusting my ability to handle life and trusting my ability to handle my shit. That is a shadow that I've had for a very long time. And now I'm finally able to kind of see the other side of things and see the growth in action and seeing the products of my labor start to come into fruition as we hurdle towards this big, huge transition, this big, huge change. It's been humbling, but also confidence boosting at the same time. It's kind of hard to put things into words. Yeah, it's been epic. How about that? In the spiritual community, we talk about spiritual awakening, and for many people, this spiritual awakening often comes or is sparked by a classic tarot tower moment, like a tower card moment. And when we think of the tower card moments, it's those big, scary, life-changing moments where our foundations fall out from under us, when our life is just pulled apart, when we are asked to reevaluate fundamental identities and fundamental things about us, when just it seems like chaos is overpowering any sense of order we might have. Big, scary changes, right? And in a way, this move to Chile has been a big, scary change. But I think this book has helped me to understand that the darkness, yes, it is frightening because it is the unknown, it is the realm of chaos, it is the realm of transformation and change, but it's also beautiful, and you can choose to surrender yourself to it. You can choose to welcome it. You can choose to walk into it and its processes with dignity and grace. This book has helped me to welcome this change to Chile and to help me understand that, you know, I can take advantage of this situation. I can resist and fear and stress and fear and mope around and resist and resist and resist and swim against the current. Or I can just let it take me, and I can, you know, do the work to try to foresee how I might benefit from this. How this move to Chile is an opportunity for me in many respects. It's an opportunity for me to do really fascinating and important research and get my name out there, to network, to become even more fluent in Spanish, especially Chilean Spanish, to really live in a completely different part of the world, in a very different culture, to explore, to travel, to grow. Like, the student witch, the Rachel that is coming into this process is not going to be the same Rachel that comes out of this process. You know, the Rachel of 2020 or 2021, 2022, whenever it is that we might return to the US after this, is not going to be the same me that's sitting here right now. And that's scary, but it's fucking beautiful too. It's, yeah. So man, my tears today have been tears of gratitude because I am finally beginning to welcome this chaos, to welcome the darkness, the submersion into the darkness, entering into the cave, you know, going through this initiation process, going through the trials and tribulations involved in this epic initiation process, this spiritual awakening, this tower moment, you know, and seeing the beauty of it and being humble in the presence of the beauty of it. All right, the move is getting real. The bookshelves are empty. Our table/desk is in disarray. And our apartment is filled with a bunch of boxes. I dismantled the altar the other day before I left for my conference. This is to throw into the garbage pile here. More boxes. My witchy storage shelf is looking bare and empty. More boxes. More packing in the kitchen. So, yeah, things are getting crazy. All right, how are you feeling, mi amor?
A little better.
A little better?
My wife is back, but
yeah,
still kind of overwhelmed. Yeah.
Overwhelmed is the word of the day for today.
It's just hard to see your home being dismantled and knowing that you're not gonna go somewhere else to put it back together because we are now taking like most of it.
Yeah, we're dismantling our home,
and then have to start from scratch somewhere else.
Right. We're getting rid of like, I don't know, 60-70% of our possessions.
Right.
And then starting with just suitcases and some boxes of books in Chile.
We're getting rid of 60% of our possessions
at least.
And now reusing 100% of them in Chile.
Yeah. So, yeah, I was gone for a few days for the conference and you started the packing process. And then I came back from the conference late last night. I cried a lot this morning, but then I got my appetite back. I had some lunch, and now we're ready to keep going. So this is really day one of the move being real. We have the moving truck, so we have 2 days to load it, clean the apartment, and then on Thursday we hit the road, drive to Kentucky, leave stuff in my parents' basement, and that'll be that. Okay. We're packing the truck. We started yesterday. Awesome. We started yesterday. And we're finishing up today and cleaning the apartment. I don't know if it's hard to tell the lighting in here. But yeah, so we just have to put the mattress in there, the last books and whatnot. And then say goodbye to our little home and clean it. We're spending a night in a hotel downtown, and then we're hitting the road tomorrow and driving to Kentucky. All right, here we are. It's we just had our last night here in Georgia. We stayed at a hotel. It's a really nice hotel. Got a good rate on it because we live in a college town here, and after all the undergraduate students are either graduated or out for the summer, the town kind of gets a little quiet over the summer, which is really nice when you spend the summer here. But anyway, the truck is packed. Good Lord, that was a battle. Took us 2 days to load the truck, go on countless trips to Goodwill, countless trips to the dumpster to get rid of shit. Oh my Lord. And then finally clean the apartment. We had a really nice kind of farewell dinner last night, and now we just have to run a couple of errands and then hit the road and hopefully get through Atlanta traffic without too many problems. So yeah, it's it's really sad. I've shed a bunch of tears in the last few days, mostly just because of exhaustion. You know, it's not just physical exhaustion, it's also mental and emotional exhaustion, because I went to Boston and flew from Boston back down here and immediately started packing a truck and cleaning an apartment out, and it's been a lot. It's been a lot, and now we have to drive up to Kentucky, which, you know, after stopping for gas a few times and stopping to eat and stretch our legs, you know, that's going to take about 10 hours. So it's going to be an interesting day. Anyway, that is what's going on right now. Smile, you're on candid camera. And go see the spring.
Oh wow, it's super cold.
Yeah, it's a lot cooler down here. Rock?
No, there's something on that rock.
Oh, that's a crawdad.
It looks like a tiny lobster, doesn't it?
Yeah, I used to catch them when I was a kid.
Stop. Yep, it's a tunnel.
Stop.
It's definitely a tunnel.
It's the tunnel.
Yep, tunnel.
So you can probably hear the extended edition of Lord of the Rings, the Fellowship of the Ring in the background. And it's the day before we're leaving on our own journey through Middle Earth.
Well, you are going through Middle Earth. I'm going back to the Shire.
He's going back to the Shire. I'm going on an adventure. How you feeling, Mimor? You ready?
I feel calm.
Yeah, me too.
I just want to land in Santiago at this point.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just do it.
Just do it. See what happens, and I don't know.
Yeah. You know how power is my word of the year for this year? I think I need 2 words of the year because the other word has been surrender.
Surrender.
Yeah. There's a beauty and a liberation in surrendering to the process of it, you know?
So power and surrender. So basically knowing when to have agency and when to accept when you don't have it.
Yep. Basically. In a nutshell.